Hello everyone, how you going? And welcome back to Questionable Car Mods, a place that just makes you go, oh, that poor car, you know, what the hell did that person think they were doing when they just decided to do that? And exactly like it says, just because it's well done doesn't mean it's not questionable, and so really you just go, oh, please people, you just have the wrong kind of taste. But anyway, let's jump straight into it, shall we? So then, starting right off with push firmly down a button to stop. What am I even looking at anymore? Surely this doesn't even come under the fact that it's a mod to the car. It's just dangerous. You have no light on the brake, no problem. I know a good electrician. I mean, look, no one was down in the electrics behind the thing, you know, I'm sure the car naturally flows just fine, but it's just every other component of this entire thing just doesn't really make sense from the fact, well, if they are a good electrician, just maybe fix it in the first place, you know, just kind of resolder or do whatever you need to do to make the real brake lights work compared to just kind of doing like this. Or hey, even though I'm certainly not recommending this, maybe just do a little bit more effort in terms of cleaning up the cables so it at least makes you look as though you tried to do something to do this, because really, even though everything's a moving component, surely there could have been something you just kind of tape it along or tape it around just to, well, just make it so you don't just rip it out with your foot, because obviously, as we can see, we've got a clutch involved in the entire thing here, and so considering the amount of travel that a clutch will should have, I mean, I certainly don't doubt that this clutch's travel is probably like this far because it is just completely gone, but if that brake cable is behind that clutch and then it gets pushed in, it's surely just going to rip it straight out of that button, so you're just going to be back to square one. And so, like I said, just do a little bit more effort, Mr. Good Electrician, because regardless of the fact that the words are being sarcastic, really, I just can't believe that someone went, yep, that's fine. And really, the scariest thing about this is just the fact that I have absolutely no idea where this car is, you know, it's not like we're seeing the outside of the car and so you go, oh, it's this car with this number plate, and so, okay, good, that's living in Russia or just somewhere else, you know. Whereas even though I could make assumptions about where this is, there is no concrete proof, and so, hey, this might just be living in my backyard, well, not my backyard, hopefully, but, well, just the bigger, broader backyard of Australia, and just having to be driving around with something like this on the road, that is just scary. And, well, really, I just hope that no one is ever doing this, but now that I'm thinking about it, maybe someone does. And like I said, I'm just worried about what the rest of the car is like, because if someone has gone to that little effort, but also that much effort to fix their brakes, like, you know, obviously they've been driving around the road, they've been done in because they didn't have their brake lights on, so they weren't stuff it, we're going to fix it this way, that really doesn't make sense, because surely just even kind of the running of the cable would have been a pain. But it clearly means that they care to some level, but I just really don't know what that level is, you know. Is it just enough to do this, or is it just enough to kind of not really do up the wheels on the tires? Are you just going to be sending tires down the road, or not be to touch the steering wheel? Just where is the level that this person goes, oh yeah, I don't really care about this, but I'm going to do this just dodgily? And honestly, does it even count as a mod to the car if you're trying to fix something that's broken? I don't know, that seems like it's a little bit of a whitewashy area. So look, I'm just going to try and delete this one from my mind so it doesn't scare me that someone's driving out there like this, and really just kind of move on, because it's not a mod, it's not anything like that, it's just a made up figmentation of someone's made imagination. Shitty or awesome? Well, that is going to be the question, isn't it? I would love to see another view from this, and maybe I wonder if it is actually both sides, but no, that is just definitely a little bit questionable, because there was no way you can ever actually say that that is kind of good taste. I mean, in saying that, I can certainly hope that this person is kind of self-aware about what they've done here, you know. Surely no one is actually putting kind of a machine gun turret on the front of their car in their fog lights, is what I can only imagine this is meant to be, or that's what the spot's for at least. But surely no one would be able to do that to the car and not have it be self-aware, because it's not some random little tassely thing that they've just put on the front of the car. No, you can definitely see that they've made an executive decision to just go, you know what, I know what I want, I'm going to go full James Bond on this entire thing and just go ahead and buy two. I mean, I certainly hope that it's two and that it's nice and symmetrical, but really just go ahead and buy two machine guns and mount them in my fog lights. And in saying that, even though the shape is just ridiculous, at the same time I would love if they were still kind of functional fog lights. So hey, I got to give credit where credit's due, and in a way just kind of agree with the title. I don't really know where it fits. I mean, it definitely isn't a good thing to kind of be having, but if it's kind of self-aware, then I kind of love it at the same time. And it's not as though they went for some outlandish chrome or anything like that. It's not a meter long out the front and just make it completely undrivable. No, it's just a little thing that just kind of stuck on the back, you know, just like buying a mini spoiler that would go on an RC car and put it on the back of your car. It doesn't really do anything, but at the same time, for people that do notice it, like this person that took this photo, then you just get to go, oh yeah, that is actually just a random little thing to see, but it kind of made my day in a way. And honestly, it just makes me want to know what kind of car that is, or more so, I just want to know what kind of person the driver is, because, well, I feel as though if you were driving a car like that, we could, let's say it's a Hyundai or something like that, I can't really tell, I just don't have enough to kind of tell what it is, but at the same time, I just wish I knew what it was, because that would just reveal the entire personality, you know, like as if it's a Hyundai or a Volkswagen or something like that, and then you go and put machine guns on it, then it really is just the two polar opposites, isn't it? If your car mods make you take up more than one space in a crowded apartment block, they're shit. Oh my goodness, what else is there to say besides what the title already said? That is just insane. I don't understand how this is just legal, even allowed, or even just considered to be, well, just considered at all anywhere in the world. I mean, they're saying that at the same time, every single time we ever see kind of these extended wheel random things, that is always in kind of Florida or I don't know, Alabama or maybe Texas even. And so you can definitely see kind of a pattern emerging about where they all kind of live and reside in the world. But no, it just doesn't make any sense. Why does anyone think that it's just one kind of looks good in any way? Because I can understand why people do what they do if they actually just go after a target, you know, because if someone actually designs the car and kind of goes after a singular style, like let's say they lower the car or raise the car or rise the car or whatever it is, I can just kind of understand why people do what they do, but this just doesn't make any sense, because regardless of the fact that, well, proven by this image, it's just not practical for you, really, I wouldn't think, or as well as anyone else. But at the same time, exactly like the title said, it just does not look good. It doesn't make sense. I mean, at least these ones aren't too aggressive. I mean, I guess it's saying that they are kind of a foot or 500 mil out. But like I was saying, I just can't get behind someone that does this because, well, they haven't committed to the rest of the car. It's not like they've got a massive mohawk to them or something. Like, if I saw that, then I could definitely go, okay, it's definitely not the greatest thing, but at least they have actually just spent the money and committed to the style that they're going after. But this is just to annoy people, surely. I mean, I guess even though I did say it wasn't very practical, at the same time, you're never going to get kind of sideswiped or anything because, well, I guess you're going to be the one sideswiping it, but no one is ever going to get anywhere near your car at all in terms of the side, so you're definitely just going to get rear-ended. And so you're definitely just going to drive rear-end collisions even higher in the stats, but no, that is just insane. And to be honest, it does make me wonder how it works in terms of doing something like this if you're living in an apartment block, because let's say you have noisy neighbours, you can kind of make a complaint and then hopefully it'll be dealt with or something will happen. Really, it doesn't matter what it is, but at least there are kind of avenues and channels to go down. But for this, it isn't really their concern in a way, and so is there anything you can really do besides just being annoyed every single day because they need to take up 2 car spots, or at least you got to, I don't know, try to park motorbikes next to it or something? And so yeah, I certainly don't have the answers for you, but really I just hope that you can just kind of take a little bit of an ankle grind or just deal with that in some regard, because that is just ridiculous and annoying and just also questionable, if you know what I mean. Much wow, so shit. Now come on everyone, we have to be honest with this one. There is no way that this one isn't somewhat self-aware. You know, the fact that they've just completely plastered their entire Ferrari just in Dogecoin, I don't know, it wouldn't be a sticker, but it would be like a vinyl wrap. It is certainly a statement, but at the same time I don't feel as though it's any more of a statement than a bright blue Ferrari. Like really, this is just not the most kind of gorish thing in this photo. And also, as well as being self-aware, it is just so easily reversible. You just take a little bit of a heat gun to it and it just should kind of peel right off. And so in comparison to so many of the other posts that we see on here, you know, the people who obviously put months and months and months of effort into, or I don't even know, it doesn't really matter how long they put, maybe they put 5 minutes into it, but if it's bolted and kind of hot glued down, then it's certainly just a little bit harder than just taking off a vinyl wrap. Thinking about it, maybe this is one of the people that just made millions and millions and millions from Doge. You know, they bought it back in, I don't even know when it started, but let's say they bought it back in 2018 or something, and then they've just absolutely gone to the moon since then. You know, everything's gone down now, but well, they're still up like 10,000 million %. So if that was the case, then it would certainly make sense. You know, they obviously have plenty of money to kind of be buying Ferraris, and then, well, if you're kind of proud of your achievement and you just want to kind of plaster your entire life's work, well, not really life's work, but just kind of a 2 years work, then, well, I mean, I guess go for it. And to continue on from what I was saying before, really, it's just been well done. You know, it's not some just random kind of just plaster a big Doge face or something like that. No, they've got all of these details in terms of heaps of coins. I mean, I guess it just gets printed so it's nice and easy, but at the same time, I feel as though someone actually has sat down and kind of designed what they want from it. You know, they've made out the coins, put a little bit of a wow, put the deal with it, Sonny's on the Doge, just all of those kind of things. Just really make it all add up, so it actually doesn't look too bad, and at the same time, like I said, it's self-aware, and so all of these ones that are self-aware, I just kind of have to give them a pass, because especially in this case, it can be so easily removed, and then also somebody has actually put thought into it, and honestly, I've figured it out. I know exactly why I actually like this one in comparison to, let's say, the last one, is because they have a theme. They've done the whole car, they knew what they were going for, and so I can respect what they've actually done here, even though it might look the greatest, and you probably would like the Ferrari clean. At the same time, I feel as though I have to go, well, I guess they did what they wanted to do, and like I just keep harping on it again, it's just quite easily removable, so you can just get rid of it and sell it on if you really wanted to. And hey, let's say you did have a couple billion Doge, you would certainly want to be kind of advertising it to drive up the market more and more, and really, this is just a kind of a smart investment in that regard. So to be honest, I feel as though this is only on this side because people are just taking it on face value and just going, oh, that is just so cringy or something, whereas I feel as though if you dig a little bit deeper, well, at least in my case, I just like it. Tesla with wing looks pretty good, but is that a quad exhaust? Oh, that's so weird, because it kind of looks as though it fits, because when you see regular Tesla, you kind of go, there's something wrong about it, and then you go, oh, there is no grill, there's no this, there's no that, there's no this, and one of those things is definitely exhaust, and so when you see it on a Tesla, you go, okay, that is what it is, but then you go, hang on a second, why? And even though OP said they didn't mind the wing, really, I don't really know if it fits, but I feel as though the quad exhaust definitely does fit the shape of the car. I don't really know what it looks like, but it kind of reminds me of a different car, just not a Tesla, not anything like that, just more of a GTR than a Tesla. And look, even though I certainly don't understand the exhaust and really how they've been mounted or just what they kind of look like besides just being chrome rings on the back, and look, the Tesla Model S is a pretty quick car as is, so I certainly can't blame someone if they were actually kind of pushing it. They might want a little bit more downforce, but really this also might be one of those cars that have just been completely gutted inside just to give it a kind of maximum quarter mile times, maximum acceleration times. Really, obviously they're electric and they're obviously just stupidly quick off the line, but if you get rid of 500 kilos out of a, I don't know, 1.5 ton car, you're certainly going to be going just a little bit faster. And also, once again, it just makes me want to meet the owner of this car, because I just don't really know what they're going for. Are they going for an economical car? Are they going for a Tesla? Or, and I think it's pretty obvious, are they going for more of a street racing car? I mean, obviously Plate isn't out yet, so we don't have the kind of top spec Model S right yet, but still, the Model S is just still plenty fast to be, well, virtually most people on the road, unless they're going to be probably into more expensive cars than that, and that's not super cheap. So even though I can give them a couple of ticks for doing what they want to, you know, they obviously want to exhaust for some reason, I guess that actually does make me wonder, did they install speakers, or do they play just kind kind of standard car sounds out of the back of the exhaust or just out of the car, I guess, just so it makes a little bit more noise. It just, well, ruins the entire atmosphere in both ways. Or I guess probably from a money point of view, it is definitely more likely that they haven't done that. But at the same time, I just don't understand the exhaust, and really I just want to see what they really look like, because actually from that perspective they look like real exhaust, which is just because you've got nothing to kind of give you contrast, and just having little chrome rings is all you need. I mean, I guess that's actually what a lot of car companies are doing now with kind of fake exhaust and everything like that. But come on now, the other car companies are doing fake exhaust tips, where this is just straight out fake exhaust. So it is definitely very, very questionable, even though I just can kind of understand the spoiler, just the exhaust tips, just kind of, I don't know, just balance it out a little bit more, and it definitely makes it, well, to belong on this sub. No idea where to post this. Yeah, I can kind of agree with that, because I don't really know what to say about this. What the hell, is that really a lyric? Wait, hang on a second, I've just realized that it wasn't talking about Wiz Khalifa, it's talking about Mia Khalifa. Wait, who? I see, it's all coming together now. Oh, this just makes so much more sense and so much less sense at the same time after kind of searching that up. Because who in their right mind, or just even who that hasn't mind, just even thinks that that is going to be something, and really I just don't know where you'd buy such a thing, but who thinks that that kind of thing is just belongs on the back of the card, let alone anywhere? And even though I'm more than happy to admit that I was very slow on the uptake about this entire thing, I just had no idea what it was at first, because, well, like I said, at first I thought it was a lyric by Wiz Khalifa, but no, it is definitely a little bit different than that. But now that all the puzzle pieces have finally come together to form the right image, I certainly don't know what else to really say about this one, because I feel as though if you don't know why I'm a little bit stuck for words, then it should probably stay that way, and if you do, then you definitely understand, so I don't really have to explain myself. And so, oh yeah, it's a little bit of a random one, and it's about definitely belongs in this sub, or at least some kind of random mix between idiots and cars in this sub. Just really, it's just such a whitewash of what the hell is going on here, and why, like I said, why does anyone think that it's a good idea? And even though there is no doubt in my mind that this one is 100% self-aware about what they're doing, because, well, why would anyone be doing that if they didn't know what they're actually putting up? And saying that, unlike some of the other ones we've seen, I don't feel as though I can actually give this one a pass, because, well, like I said, for obvious reasons, if you know, then you know why. So even though this one is creeping up towards the top of the month, at the same time, I feel as though I just want to kind of leave it buried down in the depths, because, well, that is just self-explanatory. I think we can all agree that stance builds like this are incredibly stupid. It really just does come back to the practicality of it, doesn't it? Like, really, I don't even know how they've gotten into there, because surely there was some kind of driveway or some kind of pebble or just something that it just allowed them to scrape, and so how the hell did they get in there? You know, just look at this blue one, this red one seems to have a little bit more clearance than this pink one does too, but just this blue one, just, you might as well have just taken off the wheels and just put it on the ground, because it's doing the same thing. And also, before we go any further, speaking of the blue one, I just want to address the fact that that blue one just ruins the entire photo, because we have a Toyota 86, we have another 86, so I mean, I can only imagine that they are, unless they're the Subarus. But then the blue one, which I believe was once upon a time a Mazda, just kind of comes in and just ruins the symmetry, because it's facing the wrong way and it's got the wrong headlights, especially with that massive rear wing and gold rims. Really, it just does steal the show in that regard compared to the other two. But no, you just ruined the photo, man. Just get out of here. I mean, even though I did kind of say at the start of the video that I didn't mind, or I mean, I didn't care as much when people do this, because at least they actually followed through with the actual idea that they were going after. And hey, these people definitely did. You know, they've got the body kits. I mean, I certainly don't agree with the wheels, but you know, that's just to each their own, I guess. And even the fact that on this blue one, which certainly seems to be the most extreme one, they've just gone and put this massive stupid exhaust on the back. It really just doesn't make sense, like the title says, but hey, at least they just committed to what they believed in. So even though, yes, it is definitely incredibly stupid, and I don't understand how these cars go anywhere, I don't understand how the people aren't just constantly buying new tires and going through, I don't know, 40 grand of tires a year. At the same time, like I said, they have obviously poured their heart and soul into it. You know, they either designed or had it designed. I can only imagine that these kind of people have a massive say in terms of exactly how the car is done. You know, you could take any of them, but from the wheels to the body kit and just all of the individual components, everyone can just be so customizable. But these people have obviously spent their time and their money and just all those kind of things just working on these cars just to make them virtually unusable, and so it doesn't make sense from an outside perspective. But in reality, I just feel as though with all these stance vehicles, it just comes down to the entire mantra of the sub, you know, just because you think it's shitty doesn't mean someone else does, and just because it is shitty doesn't mean it really is. It honestly is a great subreddit in that regard, because yeah, there's an entire kind of group of people that just can absolutely just shit on so many things in terms of, well, you just don't put massive spikes on your tires just to make your car extra wide. But even though this photo is obviously very high, and kind of for good reason, because it doesn't make sense, at the same time, I'm sure there are a whole bunch of people that actually kind of secretly love it. And so look, I don't know if ironic is the right word to be using, but hey, that's the one I'm going to use just to describe this entire situation with these cars in this sub. And so now finally, for the top of the month for questionable car mods, we have a whole gas station of shitty car mods. Wow, that is incredible that they've all been managed to put together like that. Are they all going out on their Sunday drive, and they've even got a flamingo in the back? What the hell is going on there? They must be all going out for a Sunday drive, but it isn't even just a race truck, it's the fact that they all kind of look into the sky as well. Oh man, you know, I've said a whole bunch of this month that I just love to meet the person that is driving this, but I don't feel as though I want to meet the person or people or whole group of massive amount of people that are driving these trucks, because, well, one, I feel as though I already have kind of met them, or well, in my mind's eye, I know exactly what they're like, and two, I just kind of want to steer clear of that kind of person. You know, there might be lovely people, but I do feel as though it would be a fairly safe bet to say they're all within one demographic, because, well, just look at them all. I'm sure the service station just absolutely loves them, because with that many just massive trucks like that, they're going to be going through 1,000 litres of fuel or more. Like, they're just going to be racking up the bill, and so they're just going to be, yes, please, just bring as much as you want here. We're just going to be making your money. I've seen some absolutely absurd people putting these gigantic tanks in the back of their utes, or, well, in this case, more trucks, but they did all arrive at the service station completely level. It's just once you actually fill them, they're just completely sink because they've now got 2 tons of fuel in the back. And to be honest, to do a little bit of a crossbow to idiots in cars, you know, we saw a whole lot of people kind of hoarding petrol and whatnot in the US, just, I don't know, fairly sure last time. I feel absolutely free to correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I'm fairly sure the people that would be doing this to their trucks would also be the kind of people to kind of be filling up the back of their trucks with fuel. And therein lies the key to infinite money for the service station, because they just have to keep getting these people to come back, you know, just make the cars bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, obviously emission standards are coming in, so they're going, having to do some funky things to kind of get around that, but at the same time, you know, just keep burning that diesel, and the petrol station is just going to keep supplying as much as they can, even though people just take the entire supply. They go, well, give us a day and we'll give it back. And so when you think about it like that, the title of this post just makes complete sense, because really it was only a matter of time before something like this happened. And even though this person was in the right place at the right time to snap this photo, I mean, maybe they're actually in the wrong place at the wrong time, who knows? But let's be honest, considering the fact that they're just carrying around a massive pink flamingo, I feel as though they're probably just out for a Sunday drive and just having a little bit of fun, obviously a little bit dangerously. Maybe someone's sitting off in the back, and that's definitely not recommended, but that's them doing their own thing. But it certainly does not take anything at all away from this photo, because, well, one, it's just funny, and two, it's ridiculous, and three, it's a little bit scary. But really, they're all just idiots in cars who have managed to take a vehicle that is actually quite useful in terms of so many things, from towing to hauling to putting stuff in the back, and just turn it into something where if you put anything in the back, it's just going to slide right out. So hey, I feel as though when you ruin something to that degree, literally to maybe what, 20 degrees or something, then it certainly is definitely a shitty car mod. But anyway, that is going to do it for the top of the month for Shitty Car Mods. So thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to the YouTube algorithm things down below. Let me know if you had a favorite post out of any of these. Other than that, we check out awesome posts all over Reddit, so make sure to check some of the other videos out now. Or hey, maybe you even just want to consider subscribing so you don't miss another one of these in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.